This is Morten from INKISH TV, and I have the pleasure of actually being together with my entire crew here at the IST UV-DAYS in Nürtingen in Germany. And the first victim of today is, of course, our good friend Jochen from Zeller Gmelin. Jochen, good to see you
again. Hi Morten, nice seeing you again.
So, we have to talk about, of course, the products from Zeller Gmelin, but let me ask you one thing first. Why are you here at the IST UV-DAYS?
We've actually had a long story as well with IST. We are half an hour away from each other, making UV curing systems as an ink manufacturer. Obviously, that creates a good bond. At the same time, we have the Print City Alliance, where we're also in the same group, setting up and working on these very nice projects together. And of course, here with these days, we present our newest products.
And what is that? Let's talk about products. I know you want to, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's how I heard.
Yeah. Let me hear about the new product. I mean, maybe we do one thing before we do it, because I was just wondering, when I see your booth and you have these roll-ups, it seems that Zeller Gmelin is, as an ink manufacturer, is covering quite a few of the, let's say, the interesting areas.
Exactly,
right?
the major topics, which we all find, especially coming from an inkjet market. We see there's a lot of hot markets in it, like packaging or corrugated, and that's why the company is known for its narrow web, metal decoration, rigid plastics, printing onto yogurt cups, for example, and dry offset. So everything that's offset and flexo, that's where the company generally is known from. But since 2019, since I joined the company, inkjet came in.
Yeah, because that is actually one of the areas that you're focusing on.
Exactly,
right?
That's my baby.
That's your baby. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why now this time, for the first time really on this event, Zeller is showing inkjet inks and some very special new applications, and especially the combination of the new trend towards UV LED curing and sustainability, which we have in all segments, of course.
When you say LED UV curing, and I see, for example, the glass samples you have in your box, I take that, and if you have like structured print, you need to cure in between layers,
yeah, exactly,
right?
Exactly, and that's a good combination with the IST, for example. This is a collaboration we had with IST Intech, where we have LED curing, and we can use it for pinning as well as for full cure, and still we create structures that have like, in this case, 800 microns in layer thickness, and be
quite
perfectly
amazing,
transparent.
Right? Yeah.
So this is really one of the big ones that we are presenting now.
I think I asked you before, but I will ask you again, because I was just thinking that some of the OEMs doing the print machines for the inkjet machine, they always like, okay, you need to buy the inks from us. It's part of the service contract. It's part of the And I was just wondering, since you are investing and focusing also on the inkjet market, is it because the change in market is something you can see that you need to be in that segment of the market?
Yeah, that's a fact, and that was an entry as well for the whole topic in general. We see that a lot of segments that we are active in are moving to, already have moved towards inkjet. So we're not the first to move in and to make the way, but of course we are following in this area, and we want to establish new products. And due to, or thanks to the contact that Zeller has to the machine manufacturers, obviously we are in conversations on implementing inkjet solutions, and it might be small projects, small topics which may not appear to be full color decoration, but some embellishments, for example. We just give this manufacturer an added value, just to differentiate them again from the others. And that's how we can collaborate with machine manufacturers, but of course we work with printhead manufacturers as well, doing special things. I'll also be presenting on it later on 20 millimeter gap printing with Psycho printheads, for example. So these are all topics we work with printhead manufacturers, machine manufacturers, and also end customers who have special requests, of course.
One of the things I like about both you as a person, but also Zeller Gmelin as a company, it seems that you have, I don't know if it's just because we got to know each other, or it's because my eyes have got a little more open during the time. But I mean, it seems that you as a company is really visual in that market. You participate in a lot of conferences. You are working in groups of people that share your passion and interest, and also the business opportunity, of course. Is that correct, that it's an investment for Zeller Gmelin to go into this segment specifically, or is it just me that was not aware of your work before?
No, it is very well chosen and decided on, because this is a path that hasn't been taken care of at Zeller Gmelin in the past too much, and it's really definitely a conscious decision that was made, because you have to get stories out to the people, and there's many platforms. Working with you guys, of course, is one good one. We already
I hope
had.
so, at least, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we also, from the action we've done last year at MPS Open House, we also get a feedback from that. So this is the great thing. You see that you invest something. Of course, it's a lot of effort setting everything up in the beginning, but eventually when you see what's coming out, it's a huge advantage.
I think it's also funny from a perspective of that, sometimes the let's say the consumables manufacturers, they were a little bit more like behind the scene, but now that it seems that there is a huge need for having a strong branding as a consumable producer, right?
Yeah, and that's a bit the difficulty sometimes. Thinking especially about inkjet, we mainly in our inkjet business in OEMs, we're always in the background. We have to be quiet because of NDAs and everything. We cannot tell we're supplying this and that manufacturer. We can only say that we are active in packaging, we are active in serialization, we are active in glass bottles, but we cannot say with who we're working with. So, and that's why we got to try to get the topics or the products implemented in other areas so people get aware of it. We tell our story and we show that in different locations where we are active.
Also, as you mentioned, that if you look at the ink manufacturers, there's a lot of competition there. So picking you is actually also a question of top of mind, because I mean, I know that you think your inks is much better than anybody else's, of course, right?
Of course.
Yeah, but generally speaking, it is a matter of supply. It is a matter of having a like security for that the product work together, right? I mean, and that is, I guess, why you are also working a lot with different OEMs, right?
Yes, and actually, it's funny enough. It's very often said that since Zeller Gmelin is not the first one to enter this market, still we see that a lot of manufacturers are now coming onto the track that having a second supplier for safety reasons. Also, their customers are requiring a backup because you never know what happens. Some other manufacturer, we had the supply chain of raw materials recently and still going on. It's a huge topic. So this gives us a chance to come in and present ourselves, but as well, battling on a CMYK print process is very difficult. That's always very similar, and that's a price issue. But getting you into a position where you have something special, something different, that has special features, which is different from the competitors, that's where the fun is, and that's what we're trying to do actually. To bring it.
And here's a brilliant example of it, right? I mean,
exactly.
Just look at it.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. We've been involved also in this project, of course, with our inks. And that's a collaboration with all our Print City companies.
Is this foil or is this ink?
This is embossed foil, yes.
So the spot varnish is of course a varnish, right? Yeah.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. And we've actually only in this case we've delivered the dark color, but also for the bottle we've only delivered the black ink for the label. And then there's also so many, because also Wildburger, Krutz, they're also involved in this project, so everybody brings in their specialties, and that's a nice thing about this. This is like the perfect example of a collaboration project, and when the bottle's in it, it's even better, of course. We can enjoy
Fantastic.
it.
Thank you. I think we might catch up with you another time during the next couple of days, right?
Yes, would be great.
Okay.
Would be great. Have fun. Good luck.
To see you.
Thanks a lot.